Good afternoon and welcome to Coffee Catch-Ups. I hope you are all doing fantastic and having an awesome hump day and you're excited to be joining us today for Coffee Catch-Ups. Yesterday was episode number 29, today episode number 30. Can you believe it? 30 episodes now of the Coffee Catch-Up. It has been an amazing journey to go through those 30 episodes. I had some awesome guests on and also really enjoyed the sessions that I've done by myself as well. It's been really cool to be able to share some insight into my own journey, as well as sharing some insight into different investing options or different concepts that hopefully have given you guys the ability to continually grow and continue to educate and become the best version of yourself. So today is episode number 30. Yesterday, like I mentioned, was episode number 29. And it was an interesting day yesterday because we had this huge situation where Facebook went down. I mean, can you believe Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp went down? It was a bizarre situation. And while we weren't able to stream Coffee Catch-Up yesterday into Facebook, we could only get it onto YouTube. Episode number 29, which happens to be my favorite number. And the funny thing is that my favorite number episode ended up getting my episode hijacked. So yesterday, if you haven't checked out the session from yesterday, Kyron jumped in, created a plan with the mesh, and hijacked my episode number 29. And Kyron interviewed me. Ended up being a great experience. Really enjoyed the ability to have a good chat to Kyron and share a bit of insight into my journey and my I guess ideas or impressions around what I've gone through in terms of the company and the vision for the company and why we are doing what we do at Wealth Mentor. So it was really great to jump in and have that. So make sure you check that episode out. It's certainly worth it. To you Aucklanders, welcome to level, what are we at? 2.75932. Interesting situation we've got with the levels. It's really meant, I guess, a lot of uncertainty again as to what we can do. Does that mean we can meet people outside? I joked with some students that we've got coming in to get some education. We're either going to be doing it virtually or in person, depending on the levels. I was like, well, it looks like we might be doing your education outside on the deck at the office. But yeah, we're unsure, I guess, what lies ahead of us in terms of the different levels. But I guess the good thing is that we can start to see a little bit of a light ahead. The disappointing thing for us, we did have our developers workshop, which we've been working really hard to bring to our students down in the Wairarapa region. And well, we've seen that, unfortunately, with the levels, that won't be able to go ahead just yet, but we are having an awesome plan instead, and we're going to be sharing some details in the next coming days, so make sure you keep an eye out for it, and you guys will be super excited about what we do have. We're not cancelling the event, we're just having to postpone it, but we have got an absolute cracker in terms of what we are planning instead, so keep an eye out for what is coming forward. Facebook went down yesterday, which was massive. But we even had some tech issues of ourselves. We've had the Monopoly Summit coming up next weekend. Really excited about the Monopoly Summit. I'm actually going to be hosting the summit. I've got 3 guests of mine who two of them have been on the show, and one is planning to come on in the near future. So Therese, we'll see on soon. We've had Tim and Belinda on, amazing investors in their own right. Belinda's journey is exceptional. She's one of the mentors here at Wealth Mentor, and she'll be doing a big chunk of speaking during the Monopoly Summit and giving you guys some great insights into her journey and how she was able to take a motel and convert it into an extraordinary investment. So definitely one to catch that one. But we had some tech issues where people weren't actually able to buy their tickets or even register, because we've got the option of either buying a ticket where you get the replay for life, or you get to join us live on the day for free. Tech issues, we've got it sorted now, so make sure you jump into the link. We'll make sure that link is into the comments so you guys can jump in the link and grab that and join us on the Monopoly Summit. It's going to be a fantastic event. well worth your couple of hours to jump in and spend with the team and continually grow your education. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about today is the concept of doing property transactions and not having any money. This is always something that I think people have this connotation that if you're going to buy property, you have to have money. And you often hear you hear people saying, well, I can't buy property, I can't afford it. I think it's not about not affording it. It's about not having the knowledge to know how to afford it. So let's think about this concept. It's not about not being able to afford it. It's about not having the knowledge to know how to afford it. Because there's so many ways that you can buy property, real estate, without actually needing any money or very little, if you have the knowledge of how to put this together. This is the concept of being able to do a joint venture or using angel investment. So these are the two concepts or comments that you'll often hear investors talk about, doing a joint venture or getting an angel investor to come on board and fund a project. So I'd like to just touch on what the difference is between the angel investment compared to a joint venture. So a joint venture is the concept of buying or transacting a property where both parties have an interest in it. Both parties are essentially buying into the transaction together. It doesn't necessarily mean that both parties are putting in the same financial outlay. It could be that one party is bringing knowledge, one party is bringing capital, in turn giving you the ability. It may be that one party is bringing capital and one party is bringing the loan ability. So, they might have the serviceability, they might have the ability to get lending. So now what we end up seeing is a joint venture formed with these two partners. This can be done in a company. It could be done within having separate trusts and having tenants in common. It could also be done in personal names. There's different ways to do that, and I highly recommend talking to a professional in that space to ensure that you understand the best way to structure your entities in order to make sure that it is the best situation, because it very much depends on the type of transaction you're doing. You could be doing a trade, you could be doing a flip, you could be doing development. You could be doing multiple income properties. You have options when it comes to joint ventures. Joint ventures are a great way, especially if you have a knowledge base. If you have an understanding as to how to find, create, or package up property or deals, then you have the ability to bring on people that potentially don't have the ability to do that. There is also the concept that we talk about is potentially people who are time poor. So time poor, meaning they don't have the ability to get out there and package up or search or find deals and put them together. But you may be time rich, but money poor. So this gives you the ability to package them up. And again, you guys marry up and are able to do transactions. If it's a trade, it's a nice, easy one. It could be that it's a profit share. It could be a certain amount of profit attributed to the person that is put the money in. There could be an interest cost associated. It could be a project management transaction associated to it. So there's many ways that it can be done. Within a buy and hold, it's going to depend on a period of time. You'll always want to make sure that you have an understanding as to what the period of time is that you're looking to be in the transaction for. So definitely considerations when it comes to the joint venture time frame and what you are looking to achieve. It really comes down to, just like you would in any other business, you'll have an agreement. You'll have an understanding as to what both parties is looking to get out of the transaction, and there is an understanding as to what the minimums that you're looking to do. It's what our exit strategies are. There's ways of keeping each other safe so that both parties are happy with the transaction going through it. So then on the other side, we have the concept of an angel investor. Now, the difference between a joint venture partner and an angel investor is joint venture partners when you're doing a transaction together. An angel investor is when someone is lending at you the capital in order to do the transaction or to do the property purchase, the property deal. So they are essentially acting like a lender. It could be that an angel investor comes in and you don't use a bank. You may pay them at a slightly higher interest rate. You may pay them 5%. You may pay them 10%. You may pay them more, depending on the cost of money associated to how good the deal is. This really comes down to having a loan agreement between both parties. So it's just like you would in any other transaction. You would have an agreement between them, and you make sure that you have a solid agreement so that they understand the situation. There's also things that you need to cover off in terms of AML and making sure that everybody, where the source of funds has come from, and everybody's above board in terms of the transaction. But I think the key element to really consider when you're going into a transaction and going through the ability to buy in either a joint venture or an angel investment situation is making sure it's a win-win situation for both parties. This is something that's really important because often the person who may be bringing the knowledge but not the capital often feels like they are the ones that are getting a favor. They don't feel like they are the one bringing as much to the party. I completely disagree. If you're bringing the knowledge and the transaction and the property to the transaction, then you are bringing a massive part of it. And the person who is lending you the capital in order to do the transaction, again, in a joint venture or an angel investor, is also getting a great reward for it. They're getting a much better return than they would get for having their money in the bank or having their money in a term deposit. This then gives a win-win situation and both parties benefit. And in turn, what we see is that the ability to do more and more transactions in this manner. So really consider the fact that any sort of joint venture is very much a win-win situation, angel investor win-win situation. If you go into it with this mindset and you have the knowledge as to how to package it up, you really have the ability to get out there and do multiple transactions. I mean, there's a quote from Robert Kiyosaki, and he says, you need money to do real estate, you need money to invest in real estate, but you don't need your money. You don't need your money. You need someone's money. It doesn't have to be yours. You need the ability to bring a deposit together, the capital for a deposit, and then we can look to leverage mainstream banks. We could look to leverage second-tier lenders. We could leverage asset-based lenders. Really keep an open mind with this. And I think until you really make a shift within your mindset and grow as an investor through education and understanding of the different types of transactions and how to do this, it really can feel like it's a little bit beyond you. But make sure you keep educating, jump into summits, learn as much as you can, keep growing, and you will get to a stage where you will be comfortable to package up transactions and do it. It's something that has been a big part of my investing journey. Massive part, whether it's buy and hold or in the trading space. I've done multiple angel investment and joint venture deals, and it has been a big part of how I've been able to build a portfolio through the years. So definitely consider that. And if you want to learn more, make sure you jump in the Monopoly Summit. It will be something that we will be discussing, not in huge depth, but again, a level above what I've just talked about now, so we can continue growing and learning and educating yourself in this spaces to become the best investor you can possibly be. And the last concept I'd like to leave you with today is always be solution-based. No matter what is faced in front of you, no matter what you come across in your investing, in your everyday life, in your business, is be solution-based. What is the solution, the problem we've got in front of us? Don't focus on the problem, focus on the solution, and you'll find that you will start to achieve a whole lot more and start to dominate your life and your goals. Guys, nice quick one from me today. We've got a lot on our plate here at Wealth Mentor. We're really excited. It's been a big week, but keep an eye out. We've got a newsletter coming out into this week. Make sure you keep an eye out for that. There's some exciting things jumping in there. It's always a pleasure to have you on here. Make sure you check out yesterday's episode, where once again my episode got hijacked by Kyron. But like I say, make sure that you keep educating, keep growing, and most importantly, team, make sure that you stay awesome. Have a great one. Cheers.